Momentum. Two passionate and busy moms sharing their quest to achieve entrepreneurial success.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
welcome
mamas.
back. We are so excited for today's episode. This is Theresa Ofstad.
And Ariella Vaccarino. Welcome to
Momentum.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please continue to share and like and comment and help us spread the word because we're so excited about what we're doing.
Yes, and we're already in 5 countries, 12 states, and we're just keep growing and growing our listenership. So keep sharing.
Yeah, I think we're at 400 downloads, which is just unbelievable. And we love checking, I'm always on my phone checking. I'm like, oh, we added another state, or there's like 10 people listening in Canada right now. It's very exciting. We actually had someone listen in Slovenia this week and someone listen in France this week. Like, that blew my mind. I'm just like, who's listening in Slovenia? Hello.
We're international. And that's the thing, because Facebook reaches everywhere around the world. And as we're posting more, we're reaching more. And as people are sharing, they're, reaching more areas of the world. And it's amazing what we can, what we can do.
Yeah, so thank you so much for helping us to spread the word, and we're working on it on our own. I guess that is really going to be the most challenging part for us on the podcast, is how do we get the word out there? Yes. And I've been doing some really interesting things. I think you've been really diving into the field of what you do this week, which is amazing. Yeah. You're so busy, and it's interesting because I see I always thought of myself as the kind of, I say the ADD girl, but in the nicest way, but that I have all of these chapters open in my head and I'm doing all these different things, but you are the same way, but you're doing it in a different way. We handle it differently, but you're like the businesswoman. You're at it. You're at work.
Yeah,
and
thank you. Yeah,
I love that.
I mean, it's awesome. I'm now working with 6 clients that I've been able to take around, touring several of them, and just visiting with the communities and getting to know more about the market and what's out there for seniors, and sharing those resources. It's amazing, and I love doing it. I have a passion for it, and so that's really where all of my success shines through, is just being passionate about it and helping others and, sharing my knowledge.
Yeah, and it's like when people meet you, I'm sure they want you to work for them too, because, you're just going into these communities and they see how much knowledge you have, and however you end up branching out, you are just unbelievable, and I know you're just building something fantastic. I'm so excited we're working together.
Yeah, and you know what, it's crazy because, yes, it's the communities and the people I'm connecting to there, but it's also all the referral sources and all the different people that work with seniors in this industry. It's more than just the communities. It's the hospitals, case managers. Yeah. It's the real estate agents. It's, people who help you move, and they have a niche in that market too. Senior movers. Caring transitions, all sorts of different sources, resources, and collaboration and networking and partnership that comes in a lot of different ways that people wouldn't think.
Yeah, and I also, just listening to that with the entrepreneur mind, I'm just thinking about all those things you're talking about are companies that people started. Yeah. Like you, somebody had an idea, they got into something, they had a connection, and then they started it on their own. And we're hoping that all you mothers, mommies out there who have this feeling that they want to start something, especially when it's really niche and specific like that, go after it. Go do it, because those jobs are out there. Why not have them be your company?
Yeah, it starts as an idea and it grows to become a passion. It's something that burns inside of you, and you just want to get it out to the world. Yeah. And but then the fears kick in, and we talked
about that a lot last week.
We had a great episode talking about pushing through fears, and it is tough, but building this momentum together, it's been amazing. Just this morning, I was listening to John Maxwell, and he was talking about momentum and how creating momentum helps solve problems, and that momentum has this energy. It exaggerates things in a positive way, and that in itself is great. But then when you can collaborate and do it with somebody else, like you and me, we're working together and we're building so much momentum that together we're able to, handle different areas of our life.
Right. And I really know that firsthand. Work creates work. That's why you really got to get those first clients. But once you start working and start building a momentum, people start reaching out to you. I remember even in my singing career so many years ago, I would get a part, and all of a sudden I'd be being offered that week like 3 different parts just because, I don't know, it's like the energy changes, and all of a sudden I become a working singer. The same thing with my teaching, I had really slowed down teaching during COVID times. It was a really awful time to teach voice lessons with masks, I'm sure you can imagine. And I put it out there, as you know, that I want to start teaching again. And last week I had a very busy week of teaching. I'm back up to teaching again. It's amazing. I'm starting to get calls from people who knew me for years, but for some reason last week they called me. Yeah. And it was like I'm like, oh, I just got another hour of students. Oh, I just got another hour of students. And it was so easy because it just all started happening. I think I'm talking about it again. I'm open to the energy of it. Yep. It's happening for you too.
Yeah, and you're building momentum and that energy. People feel the energy. They want to jump on that train with you.
Exactly.
And be part of it. And it's amazing. And even just to see some of the accomplishments you did this week with Facebook. You created a page. We have our group.
I spent a lot of time on social media this week trying to connect. They're just like these little hanging strings, and trying to connect them from one to the other. It's actually very complicated and time consuming.
Yes, for sure. And I'm so grateful that you were able to accomplish that this week, and when you did, you were able to post on a couple of these private groups that we need. We're now looking at interviewing people. Yeah. You and I both already have people in mind, but we wanted to really get that momentum going there as well. So Ariella put out a couple posts in private Facebook groups saying that we need a guest. We need to interview people on our podcast. This is what we're about. And it was great to see the reactions.
And Theresa, you don't even know, it's over 70. Over 70 women have written us. We haven't even gone through it yet because I'm a little daunted. And they're all so amazing. Yeah. They all had websites, and they had companies, and they had links, and they had their own podcast. And we're going to have to pick and choose and figure out how we want to run this, but I got so excited.
Oh my gosh, I was excited. I saw the number of people coming in. I know they private messaged you their information, but I saw how many people were interested and said, hey, I just DM'd you, and it was amazing. Some of them talked about what they do. And you know what? Honestly, it led me to somebody who I already knew and I've already been following, and she's amazing. And just kind of what you just said a minute ago, talking about how you had to recreate yourself during the pandemic. She did the same thing. And it's so fascinating to follow her journey. And she's going to be one of our interview guests. She's already, committed and
super excited about that one. Yes. That'll be fun.
Yes. We have a couple that are in that niche that I think would match really well together and really well with things that you do. Yeah. So I'm really excited to have her on the show.
And our show's going to pivot a bit because you're listening to our journey, but as we're looking at all these different women and their jobs, we're excited about talking to them.
Yes.
So we're going to be bringing a lot of that to you with different themes on different weeks. And you're also going to follow our journey, but I think we have a lot we can learn from other people and branch out.
Yeah. And the whole point of this is not just to share our journey, which has been amazing so far, but it's also to support other women and help them with their journey and help kind of push them, guide them. Even if they're not ready at this point, continue listening to us until you are, but help and support the other women out there, other mommies out there that just have something burning in their heart that they want to do.
Yeah, and there's a lot of groups that are doing things like that, but this is our group. And if you like us and you join us, and we create a community together.
Yes.
So so a little bit about these Facebook groups that we keep mentioning, just so you guys have an idea. It's actually quite fascinating what you can do with your business with Facebook.
Yeah.
So there's a group for absolutely anything you could think of on Facebook.
Yes.
Private groups you have to, groups that are public, and you put it in the search tab. For example, I put in podcasting, all this stuff came up. Then I saw that there were things about people who need guests, people who want to be guests. I joined those groups. They have things on public speaking. They have things on Amazon affiliates. They have, if you have a question on how to do something, join a group on Facebook and see what people write.
Yeah.
I think there was a while we were looking at buying a rental property in Big Bear. So I joined a Big Bear Facebook rental property page, and I just quietly read everything. I actually ended up not doing it because of that page, because I saw everything they went through. But these pages, and it's just a really cool thing, and you're learning about. Now, a lot of these people are trying to sell you stuff, so you pick and choose. And some of these people, you might want to buy something from them. People have knowledge.
Yeah.
but a lot of them are just you're learning from them. So what I've been doing is this is so funny. I didn't tell you this yet. I posted that I wanted to be a guest, and just for me, because I'm also thinking, how can we spread the word about momentum?
Yes.
Well, if I get on someone's podcast, then maybe, and I mention momentum, then maybe they'll look up our podcast, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to start guesting myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's.
I was just going to say, and where that is wonderful too, is the collaboration of both. So, they say you bring two minds together and you create a third. So that also comes into play when you're talking about audiences and listeners and people that you can connect to.
Yeah.
So when you're both marketing each other, even on that one episode that you're on, it just brings awareness to everybody. So I'm really excited to see what happens when we start getting all these guests, and you start, and maybe I start.
Yeah, exactly.
Being guests on other people's podcasts.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing. I never really listened to podcasts before we had our podcast. But so the funny thing that happened on this one, I had posted that I was looking personally to be a guest. And all these people wrote me, and people have invited me. And then somebody wrote, did you see the woman who said, "Oh my gosh, I've been listening to your voice lessons for years. I have them on in my car. They randomly come up on iTunes." So I just thought that was fantastic.
Yes, I did see that. She goes, "I feel like I know you."
Yeah, I'm like, well, you do know me a little. That happens to me a lot. You never know. I have sold like a couple 100,000 of my CDs, and some people really listen to them.
Yes, I did see that one, Ariella. And the other one that I was just tickled by was the one. And again, there's a niche out there for everything. So as Ariella posted that she would like to be a guest on someone's podcast, I saw the one about pets and animals.
Yeah.
And you posted about a picture of your 5 dogs, and it was so cute. You should see this picture of her 5 dogs lying down on the bed.
We can post it this week.
Oh my God, they're adorable. And I commented on that string, and I said, I can vouch for Ariella and her 5 dogs, each one with its own personality, and Mr. Yummy Tummy, who oftentimes likes to be our co-host on our podcast.
So, I mean, these are all going to be just more experiences. This year for me is about rising up, finding my voice. I feel like it's kind of been stifled, and I'm trying to bring it back out.
Yes.
So whether I'm taking an improv class, or I'm guesting on a podcast, I'm creating new CDs or new projects, or podcasting with you, it's just all about I'm opening myself up and seeing what's out there.
Yeah,
I'm having a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And the collaboration, not only between the two of us, but also with all of our listeners and the support team that we have, the community that we've built, you really your mind starts to expand of other things we could be doing.
That's right.
And, I was just talking to somebody earlier today about, I love to think outside the box, but I don't always act outside the box. I like to think outside of the box and then think, okay, does that make sense for me?
Yeah.
Is it the right path? Is it going to benefit me? And then decide to move forward or not. But this entire experience has been amazing because it has completely opened my eyes to things that I never thought I would do, or, things that, are so amazing, people that we're connecting to, and, around the world. That's crazy.
That's awesome. It's awesome. And it's interesting because you can be very close to something. Like, for example, I had recording equipment, but that's because I made voice lessons CDs, right? I had never made a podcast, nor had I listened to a podcast. Maybe This American Life. I don't know if that's a podcast, but I knew nothing about it, and now all of a sudden I have one. I have another one about to release. I guested yesterday for the first time on one. We could talk about that. And and I look on Facebook on this thing I never even thought about it, and there's just like so many groups about it, and this is people's worlds, and I was right next to it, but I wasn't in it. Right?
It's amazing. It's crazy. And then that leads us to, okay, she also created YouTube. So now we have the opportunity.
A YouTube page.
YouTube page.
Channel.
Yes.
Channel.
Yeah, she didn't create all of YouTube.
I created YouTube.
She's the CEO of YouTube.
Yes.
No, but she created our YouTube page. And then we decided, okay, do we want to go ahead and just post everything audio? Do we want to create video? So now that kind of opens up a whole nother world for us. Do we want to start videoing all of these?
And you should see us today. We're opposite today because Theresa has work to do, official work to do today.
Business attire.
She looks fantastic.
Makeup is done.
Yeah, pearl. She's got a little blazer going. And I've got my Crocs on, some jeans, and I have to work later too, but I can wear this when I teach group singing, right?
Yes. So, you still look video video ready.
Okay. So it's very exciting because, you take one step up and then you see what's there. You look over the mountain. You're like, oh, wait, there's video over there. Or I can guest, or we can have a guest. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time, like I said, on the internet. And I figured out on Podbean, which if you're looking to start a podcast, please click the affiliate link below. That'll get us something. But on Podbean, they have a way to take your audio file. Because this is actually complicated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, well, how do you post on YouTube? We don't have a video. But they'll take your audio file and they will turn it from an MP3, which is audio, look at what I'm learning, to an MP4. It takes them, you just click on it, takes like an hour, and then it gives you a link. Mm-hmm. Then you upload that. And so that's what I put on YouTube. So there are considered to be, it looks like a video because it just shows like a wave of sound and our picture. Mm-hmm. And so that's how we're doing it now. Like no one's listening to it. No, we're going to have to do something with our page. Yeah. But now we're establishing a YouTube page. Yes. And we have to decide if we want to actually add some video of us.
Yes. And we could do our own, like you said, just these podcasts video, but especially when we start interviewing people and when we're interviewing people in other states and other countries, we're going to need to do that via Zoom or StreamYard or whatever, video editing tools we decide to use. Right. And we can launch those and post those on our YouTube video.
Yeah, and we can do those audio or video. So that's what we're going to have to decide what we want to do.
Yeah. Or both. Yeah. And you said, pull little clips of it. We can post those, put those on Reels. There's so much that we can do.
Yeah, so that's my idea for helping to spread the word, is pulling, under 60-second little nuggets from our
episode.
Yeah, from each episode. And that week we can post them, like maybe every couple days we post them on our TikTok, which I created, or on our YouTube. And it's just so it brings people in. Will there be our faces on it as a video? Will we have a stream and mountains behind it and you hear us talking? I don't know yet, but we're working on that.
Yep. Absolutely. So much exciting stuff going on. We have our first interview this week that I'm super excited about. We have a couple other women who are ready to go, just need to find a good date and time for us to connect. So we'll have those going.
I think this week is all about selecting and scheduling our guests, figuring out the themes for the shows. And then, so yesterday I did a podcast for somebody else where I was a guest.
Yes.
But the greatest part of doing it was it forced me to set up how to do it. You know, where am I going to sit? What's the light? Because it was video this time.
Oh, great.
So every time we do something like this, it benefits us for the next thing, right?
Absolutely.
So I realized that, when you're on this person did it on Zoom, but I was able to use my good microphone with my interface focus right and plug it in to my computer so that the sound was better on Zoom.
Yes.
And then I took my, I have these special lights for lighting things. I made sure to sit and look good at it. And I had to work on the background. I had the two pianos in the background, and so it taught me a lot. And and the headphones, like I never thought, I'm like, why do people wear headphones? Well, they wear the headphones so that I guess they don't hear the feedback of the sound. I don't know. But I had to wear headphones. I figured that out.
Yeah. It was a lot. And Ariella is very creative here. I do want to say, before meeting Ariella, I had planned on just doing all my videos and stuff using my iPhone or my computer.
I remember you telling me that.
Very doable, ladies.
Yes,
you can absolutely do it that way.
Yeah.
But I am now seeing the benefit of all of your creativity and all of the equipment that you have. It really does create another level of quality.
Yeah.
So
sound, light. You want to look good, right?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you can it could be the same day, and if you're facing one way in the room or the other way in the room, you can look just like a raccoon with raccoon eyes, or you can look beautiful.
Yes. And one tip is, if you don't have any lighting, and you have a window in the room, sit towards the window with the whatever it is that's recording you between you and the window.
Yes.
So you can use the window for the lighting. There's all sorts of little tips that you can use.
Right.
Just do it, whatever it is that you're thinking of doing. Don't let all the equipment stop you.
No, don't.
But at some point, you can level up and you can get the equipment. We didn't have all this equipment day one.
Right.
We added some, you had a lot of great stuff, but we added a second mic. We added some more stuff. So every day is just getting a little better and better.
Right. We learn as we go. And, some equipment's not, if you're going to spend $50, $60, $100 on a microphone, for some people that's not that much. And if it really takes you up to the next level of sound, it might be something to invest in, especially in podcasting.
Yeah. And maybe not everyone's planning on doing a podcast, but you can use a lot of these tips and tricks for just videoing. Sometimes you need to be conducting Zoom meetings with clients in other areas of the world or whatever it is. A lot of times you'll need that video to use, and you still need a good microphone, good, be able to have good sound quality. So all of these tips can be used in various ways.
Absolutely. So I think that's this week. I guess we're going to call it the week of the guest, right?
Yes.
And we're going to have a lot to report about that because we're going to have our first official interview. And so my interview that I did yesterday will help set us up for that.
Absolutely.
And we have to figure out, we want to create an application.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
And I've seen a lot of people, because with me looking to guest on people's podcasts, people are sending me applications, and they're also sending me calendars to sign up for
Calendly.
Times. Oh, yeah, that's what it was called.
I had Calendly before for just trying to connect with people for business in general. As a salesperson in business, as an entrepreneur, whatever it is, when you're trying to connect with somebody and you're trying to figure out each other's schedules, sometimes the best way is to just send them a link and say, this is my schedule, pick a time that works for you.
Yeah.
So some of our interview guests have already done that, and that's great because that helps us. It's also hard because there's the two of us that have our own schedules, and then trying to fit a third or fourth person in so that we're all together on the same date and time. So by sending the link, it makes it easy because now you and I can just sit here and go, okay, what's our schedule and how does it fit with hers?
So Calendly?
Calendly. It's just like calendar, but with an ly at the end.
Yeah,
so
they
Calendly.
all sent me that. They all sent me. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think there might be other tools too, but that's the one I'm familiar with. So I think that's a lot. I think that we've covered a lot, Ariella. I'm super excited for all of our successes up to this point, and I'm super excited for what the future is going to hold for us. I know there's going to be a lot of great episodes coming up with all of these wonderful, fabulous women.
Yes, I'm really excited about it. We're going to be hitting 400 downloads today, and we're just going to keep going up from there. I love to report on that and just let everybody know. Thank you so much for being great listeners.
Follow your dreams, everyone.
Mom and Tom. Two passionate and busy moms sharing the quest to achieve entrepreneurial success.